From the JAMA Network, this is JAMA Author Interviews. Conversations with authors exploring the latest clinical research, reviews, and opinion featured in JAMA.
Hello, I'm Dr. Kristin Walter, Deputy Editor at JAMA. I'm joined today by Dr. Daisy Dai, who is a professor and Associate Dean of Research in the College of Public Health at the University of Nebraska Medical Center in Omaha, Nebraska. Today we will be discussing a research letter titled Prevalence of Nicotine Pouch Use Among U.S. Adults, 2022, that was co-authored by Dr. Dai and Dr. Adam Leventhal from the Institute of Addiction Science at the University of Southern California Keck School of Medicine in Los Angeles, California. Welcome, Dr. Dai.
Dr. Walter, it's nice to meet you.
Great. And before we start discussing your article, could you describe what nicotine pouches are and which ingredients they contain?
Nicotine pouch products are still new to some people, but recently we have seen a surge in the sale of this emerging tobacco product. Basically, these non-tobacco nicotine small pouches just look like a tea bag. And it comes with many different flavors. Some are kid-friendly flavors, such as mango, and it also contains menthol or tobacco flavors. And people can put the product and pouch in their mouths, and they can absorb the nicotine. The product are very discreet. And I guess this is a part of the reason it gains lots of popularity right now.
And do these pouches actually contain tobacco leaves?
Technically, no. These are nicotine product, non-tobacco nicotine product. And nicotine pouch is a category in the smokeless tobacco, but it's different by not containing tobacco leaves.
And are these nicotine pouches regulated by the FDA, and when did they first appear on the market in the U.S.?
These are emerging products. Nicotine pouches are subject to FDA's regulation. No pouch product have received the marketing authorizations yet. FDA administration regulates nicotine pouches as commercial tobacco product and is reviewing pouch marketing applications now. By law, anyone manufacturing or selling non-tobacco nicotine product must follow FDA regulations. This rule includes prohibiting sales to individuals under 21, banning free samples, and not making claims that their products are safer than cigarettes without FDA approval.
And can you discuss some common side effects of nicotine pouches?
The use of nicotine pouches may be associated with nicotine dependence, mouth lesions, and nausea. But I would say more studies are needed to evaluate the long-term health effect of nicotine pouch use because this product is very new in the market.
So moving on to your study, can you describe the methods that were used to estimate the prevalence of nicotine pouch use in the U.S.?
The question is assessed by the current population survey, and this is a monthly survey, and we got the specific assessment from the tobacco use supplement module. The question is assessed in September 2022.
And how many individuals did you survey, and what was the response rate to your survey?
This specific study included nearly 40,000 study participants.
And they were from all across the U.S.?
Yes, this is a national study.
And then what was your survey response rate?
The response rate was 73%.
And then can you describe the racial and ethnic diversity of the survey population and then the age ranges of individuals included in the survey?
The sample included 51% of female, 17% of Hispanic, 12% of Black.
And 8.9%.
Yeah, it's non-Hispanic, non-white race, just other race.
And what were the age ranges that you included in your survey?
From 18 all the way up to 65 plus. This is for adult population.
In terms of your questions, I know you asked about nicotine pouch use. What other information did you elicit in the survey?
Yes, the survey asked basically very, very broad question about tobacco use. Cigarette, e-cigarette, cigars, smokeless tobacco, pipers, hookahs, a wide range.
Okay. And in terms of the results of this survey, what was the prevalence of nicotine pouch use ever and currently among U.S. individuals?
The prevalence of ever and current nicotine pouch use was low among U.S. adults, with 2.9% and 0.4% of participants reported ever and current nicotine pouch use, according to this study.
And which individuals were most likely in your study to use the nicotine pouches?
Nicotine pouch use was particularly higher in younger age groups, males, non-Hispanic white racial groups, as well as current and former smokers. For instance, as compared to never smokers, current smokers were 11 times and 4 times more likely to report ever and current pouch use, respectively.
And did you find an association with nicotine pouch use and smoking cessation attempts?
In our study of nearly 4,000 current smokers, those who had tried to quit in the past year were more likely to have used the nicotine pouches at some point, 12% versus 9.6%, and were more likely to be using them now, 1.6% versus 0.6%. Smokers who didn't smoke every day were less likely to have ever used the pouches, 8.8% as compared to 11.4%. But this didn't affect current use. Wanting to quit smoking was linked to having tried pouches, and those who had been smoking for a shorter time were more likely to be current pouch users.
And can you describe any surprise findings from your study?
Yeah, one of the findings is that we found that in our study of 15,000 people who tried to quit smoking in the past year, more of them reported trying to quit by switching to e-cigarettes as compared to those who switched to nicotine pouches. So right now, e-cigarette is still the primary product that consumers are using when they seek smoking cessation. So although the sales of nicotine pouch is rising, the prevalence of nicotine pouch among the adult population is still low.
Can you describe some limitations of your study?
There are some limitations of this study. First of all, this is a cross-sectional study, so causal inference cannot be inferred. Nicotine pouch use and other tobacco use behaviors are self-reported and they are subject to recall bias. So, and future biomarker studies of nicotine pouches is needed to assess the long-term health effect. And also our study suffered from the small sample size in certain groups.
And that leads to my next question, which is what future research needs to be done about nicotine pouches?
As public health advocates, I would say, first of all, we need to closely monitor the trend of nicotine pouch use among adults and adolescents. This is the lesson we learned from e-cigarette because nicotine pouch, right now, the prevalence is low, but things could potentially change if we don't strengthen the FDA regulation. We are concerned about the adolescent use of nicotine pouch because right now the market share is increasing very fast. We are talking about fivefold increase in the recent 3 years, while the product has been in the market for 10 years. While e-cigarette is receiving more stringent regulation, we need to continue to monitor the market shift for the nicotine pouch, whether the pouch is used for smoking cessation or the pouch could potentially indict a new generation of young users. And furthermore, study need to assess the cessation effect because the product is currently not approved as the cessation by FDA.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us about this interesting article. That was Dr. Daisy Dai from the College of Public Health at the University of Nebraska Medical Center, and I'm Dr. Kristin Walter. This episode was produced by Shelley Steffens at the JAMA Network. To follow this and other JAMA Network podcasts, please visit us online at jamanetworkaudio.com. Thanks for listening.